Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island. The team digs up original depositor work at the bottom of the garden shaft. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the guys dated two artifacts from the garden shaft as original depositor items, and a new expert explained how the Vikings may have aided the Templar Knights in bringing treasures to the island. The Dumas Minor guys pulled up a series of old-looking beams from 100 feet below ground at the bottom of the garden shaft. The team had assumed these were part of a tunnel. However, they did not find a tunnel-shaped structure. The guys speculated that the tunnel's walls and ceiling had been previously removed, leaving only the floor. It could be disappointing if they can't find a defined tunnel. They obviously cannot follow it to the treasure. Now for some good news. Blacksmith Carmen Legg and archaeometallurgist Emma Cullingan combined their brain power and technology to examine two small iron artifacts found with the wood beams at the bottom of the garden shaft. The objects were determined to be small fasteners or nails, perhaps used to make chests or hang a lantern in a tunnel. These were old. Carmen placed them between 1400 and 1700s. Emma said the lack of manganese and high sulfur content indicated an old source of iron, meaning the objects were probably leaning toward the older side of Carmen's date range. This all likely means they are dealing with original depositor work in the garden shaft. Marty Lagina stated that if they can prove this is original work, then we have had a successful year. Dr. Doug Simons informs Oak Island team that Vikings and Templars likely formed a bond. Meanwhile, Dr. Doug Simons had a fascinating theory in the war room. In recent weeks, the guys theorized that the Templar Knights and the Vikings teamed up to bring ancient Christian relics from Jerusalem to Oak Island in the 13th century. The team believes the Templar Knights built Nolan's Cross and two other stone monuments in the 13th century. They are also aware that Vikings established colonies in Newfoundland, 650 miles to the north, from about the 11th century. Recent discoveries of artifacts of Scandinavian origin led the team to wonder about a collaboration between the Templars and the Vikings. Last night, Dar Simons claimed it was possible. Simons claimed that Vikings led by King Sigurd the Crusader in the early 12th century sailed to the Holy Land, where they would have mixed with the knights that would shortly form the Order of the Templars. The academic said the two groups could have easily formed a bond leading to a collaboration that brought items such as the Holy Grail to Oak Island. Alex Lagina quipped, "I'm running out of ways to be skeptical about the Templars. And he's not the only one. The evidence is mounting." Have the Oak Island team found a loading dock in the swamp? And in the swamp, Billy Gerhard uncovered a new wooden wall-like structure. Dr. Ian Spooner and the others were baffled about what it could be, but it looked like someone had gone to a lot of trouble digging deep into the swamp. Steve Guptill and Ian speculated that because of its close proximity to the stone roadway, it may have been an unloading dock. Ian suggested that the red clay around the structure was also found under the stone roadway, which means the two features could be connected. This was a pretty action-packed episode, but as is often the case, it posed more questions than answers. The Curse of Oak Island has long been a saga of mystery, intrigue, and relentless pursuit. The island, nestled off the coast of Nova Scotia, has tantalized treasure hunters for over 2 centuries with its legends of buried riches. Many have ventured to its shores, lured by tales of hidden wealth and the enigmatic money pit, but few have uncovered more than fragments of the island's secrets. That is, until now. The current team, a dedicated and diverse group of adventurers, historians, and engineers, has been working tirelessly to unearth the truth behind Oak Island's mysteries. Their latest focus has been the Garden Shaft, a location shrouded in as much mystery as the island itself. The garden shaft, unlike the infamous money pit, had seen less attention over the years, making it a prime candidate for exploration. The team gathered at the site early one misty morning, the air thick with anticipation. Rick and Marty Lagina, the brothers leading the expedition, stood alongside their trusted crew. They were a mix of seasoned treasure hunters, including Gary Drayton, the metal detecting expert, and Dr. Ian Spooner, the geologist whose insights had proven invaluable in past digs. The garden shaft had always been a bit of a conundrum. Its structure suggested it was not merely a part of the many tunnels that crisscrossed beneath Oak Island, but a focal point of some importance. Previous attempts to explore it had been thwarted by flooding, unstable ground, and the sheer depth of the shaft. But recent technological advancements and sheer determination had brought the team to this pivotal moment. As the heavy machinery roared to life, the team commenced their descent. The shaft, reinforced with modern supports, now allowed for safer excavation. The first few hours were uneventful, yielding only the expected debris and old timbers. But just as spirits began to wane, Gary's metal detectors signaled a promising find. With bated breath, the team carefully unearthed a small, ornate chest. The chest, though corroded, bore markings that suggested it was of significant age. Dr. Spooner, after a brief examination, estimated it to be from the late 17th or early 18th century, a period often linked with the island's lore. Opening the chest was an exercise in patience. The lock was intricate, and the team had to proceed cautiously to avoid damaging the contents. When they finally pried it open, they found an assortment of objects that seemed to belong to a ship's captain: navigational tools, a logbook, and a map. The map, although fragile and partially deteriorated, depicted a section of Oak Island and marked specific locations with cryptic symbols. The logbook, written in elegant script, detailed voyages across the Atlantic and mentioned a hidden treasure on Oak Island. The entries spoke of a group of men who had labored intensely to construct a series of traps and tunnels to protect their hoard. This revelation sent a wave of excitement through the team. They were not just chasing legends. They were walking in the footsteps of those who had been here centuries before. However, the most astounding discovery was yet to come. As they delved deeper into the shaft, they encountered a layer of stone unlike anything they had seen on the island before. This layer, marked with peculiar carvings, hinted at an organized effort far beyond a mere pirate stash. Dr. Spooner's preliminary analysis suggested that the stones were not native to Nova Scotia, but likely transported from Europe. This was a groundbreaking find, indicating a significant investment of time and resources by the original depositors. Pushing further, the team reached what appeared to be a sealed chamber at the bottom of the garden shaft. Breaking through the final barrier was a moment fraught with tension. As the debris was cleared, they peered into the chamber and gasped in unison. Before them lay an array of artifacts: gold coins, jewelry, and a series of intricately carved wooden chests. Each chest contained documents and scrolls, some in languages they could not immediately recognize. The artifacts were carefully cataloged and brought to the surface for detailed analysis. Among the most compelling items was a series of parchments written in a code that stumped even the most seasoned cryptographers on the team. These documents, they believed, held the key to understanding not just the treasure, but the identity of those who had buried it. The discoveries at the garden shaft began to paint a picture of an organized effort, likely by a secretive group with significant resources and knowledge. The meticulous construction of the tunnels and the sophistication of the traps suggested a purpose far beyond mere wealth. Some team members speculated about connections to the Knights Templar, while others considered the possibility of involvement by other secret societies known to operate in the 17th century. The thrill of the hunt was palpable as the team continued to decode the symbols and texts. Each breakthrough brought them closer to understanding the grand design behind the Oak Island mystery. The documents hinted at a greater treasure, one of knowledge and power, protected by layers of secrecy and danger. As they stood at the edge of the garden shaft, looking out over the island, Rick and Marty Lagina knew they were on the cusp of something monumental. The journey had been long and fraught with challenges, but the pieces were finally coming together. The original depositors had left behind more than just treasure. They had woven a tapestry of intrigue that had captivated generations. The Curse of Oak Island was not merely about finding gold or silver. It was about uncovering the truth and preserving a legacy that spanned centuries. The garden shaft had revealed its secrets, but the island still held many more. With renewed vigor, the team prepared for the next phase of their quest, knowing that each discovery brought them closer to unraveling the greatest mystery of them all.